Hello and welcome to the Zcast, Generation Z's kind of weekly podcast. We haven't done it in a bit. We've had schedule issues, mistakes were made. Some of those were ours, some of them weren't. But yeah, we're back. And if you're watching this, you've noticed that you can see us right now. We've made the transition over to YouTube instead of being on Vimeo. So we decided to start doing webcam for ourselves. So now you can see us. Hi.
Yay!
Sweet.
So, with me are Takeo
Hello.
and Javert.
Hello!
Alright, and for those of you who have no idea what this is or what we're talking about, you can find us at generationz.jcinc.net, generationz.jcink.net. It is a nerd culture forum. I guarantee you, if you're a nerd, you will enjoy it.
And the other thing is too, link will be in the description. And if you're an otaku,
Wait,
please join. I am so lonely out there.
No, he's gone.
Wait, am I gone?
We lost Takeo.
And he's the one recording.
All right.
Oh.
Wait. Hold on. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Hello? Yes, we can hear you. Can we?
Okay.
You're kind of frozen.
Okay, on my end, it's fine. So that's what matters.
Okay. We were just talking about how we don't have latency issues.
And I'm the one with him, right? Yeah, I know. So everything's cool now? Everything?
I think
Yeah.
everything's cool now.
Okay.
Although,
Okay. If this becomes a problem, we're gonna have to switch from Rabbit to something else.
Yeah.
we're off to a great start today.
It's fine. It's our first like actual video.
Yeah, and we have been out of this for a while. We're out of practice.
Clearly. But I'm guessing what Takeo was getting at, and he may have said it on his end, and that would be in the recording, is the link is in the description.
And if you're an otaku, please join, because I'm the only otaku there. I'm like really lonely.
So yeah, the link to Generation Z will be in the description of this video. And please tell your friends about us. You know, send them the link to this video. You know, like, favorite, subscribe, please. We need the exposure.
At this stage, Generation Z is awesome, except for the fact that no one hardly posts anymore.
There are 6 of us.
I mean, there was a couple new members who are posting. It was, Ristropo, who's a new member, has been posting a little bit.
Yeah, he's actually stuck around a bit.
Yeah. Now that takes dedication.
we got some decent new members. It's just we need more.
Yeah. I wish Silverbard would come back.
Who?
Silverbard.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Nicole.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, we went over that. So I think Takeo has an icebreaker for us.
I do, and this is actually gonna. This is gonna be kind of foreshadowing on kind of what we have for nerdy news this week. And the icebreaker question is this: you are now a superhero. What is your superhero name, and what are your abilities? And I actually asked this before we started recording. That way, everybody had time to think about it, because I'm still thinking about my own.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about my own too.
I'm going to resist the temptation to steal Christopher Titus's anti-dad.
What?
Anti-dad?
Yeah, anti-dad, the most negative superhero in the world.
It sounds like a child services experiment gone wrong.
It's like, you know, it's like, hey, Dad, I got my first job. What? Really? Well, you ain't manager yet, are you, fry boy? When your self-confidence returns, so will I.
Oh. That would be a villain, not a hero.
You guys got to watch Christopher Titus.
I've seen some of his stuff, but
Okay.
see, all I can think right now is of Stephen Lynch's "If I Could Be a Superhero" song.
Another great comedian.
I would be awesome, man.
Awesome, man.
I think the answer for all of us is actually Captain Procrastination.
Hey, I don't procrastinate. Although there's something I got to do tomorrow.
I'm just.
I mean, we all know procrastination is the art of keeping up with yesterday.
Exactly.
Obviously. I think we said that like 3 times as our closer
Yeah.
on the old show.
Yeah.
But obviously, this is the pilot of a new era.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter.
One other thing that I completely forgot about. We are not like, because Vimeo does have content restrictions. We are no longer safe for work at this point. So we are letting, we're gonna let the F-bombs fly. Not me personally.
Well, I was gonna say, well, we are. You're not.
Yeah, but it's everything's fair game now on YouTube. So
I'll be more reserved than some people will. So.
Oh, you mean compared to like Fluffy?
Yeah, well, Fluffy, yes. You guys will meet Fluffy soon enough.
And we're basically gonna have a scale from Takio to Fluffy.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, despite the fact that we are on opposite ends of the spectrum, we find ways to play off each other somehow.
You play off each other really well, actually. And if you guys are curious as to how they play off each other, you can go find our old episodes on Vimeo.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's that weird chemistry that I don't know how we have it. We just kind of have it.
Yeah. Now, the easiest way to find the old videos would be go to generationz.jsync.net.
Yes,
very
and
true.
follow the
We have
links.
we have them all archived on there.
Yep, and now yeah.
Although I think at this point we've been on such hiatus that the admins are gonna cut our budget.
Yeah, cut it in half.
Yeah, but like here's the thing, right? How do you divide 0? How do you cut 0 in half? Because anytime you divide by 0, bad things happen.
Well, see, we're not dividing by 0. We're dividing by 2.
Yeah, but we're
putting
dividing
0 on the top line
by 2.
Yeah, but you see, you can put 0 on the top and it's fine.
You just get 0.
No, you get 1, right? Isn't like the old like the really like ultra basic math is anytime you divide by 0, it's 1?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know, because dividing by 0 means the end of humanity as we know it.
I divided by 0 my paper burst into flames.
I actually have a funny story about dividing by 0. You would think like we joke about it, but like this actually happened. In the 80s and 90s, Israel, they had their altimeters programmed by Motorola, and so here was the issue: every time they would near the border, their nav systems. Oh no! You guys
Hello?
still there? You guys still there?
You blinked on us.
Oh, sorry.
I'm still here.
What was the last
Are we
thing
all
you guys
still
caught?
here? I didn't lose your audio at all.
Okay.
I just lost your video for a second.
Yeah, I lost both of yours, which is weird. But so when they would approach the Dead Sea, their navigations would just crash, and so they would have to debug in flight and land it while it was still rebooting. Eventually,
wow, that's crazy.
Eventually, here's what they realized: altimeters work on mathematics, obviously. Mm-hmm. So when they would reach the Dead Sea, the altimeter, because altimeters are relative mm-hmm. to ground level, not sea level. So when they reached the Dead Sea, it would hit 0. It would hit sea level, which was 0. So then the systems would try to divide by 0, and it would crash the navigation system.
Wow, that's pretty funny.
So Israeli
It just
pilots,
goes to show you, don't divide by 0. Bad things happen.
Yes, especially if you're a pilot and you program your navigation, or not if you're a pilot, if you program nav systems for pilots, don't set up your navigation system to divide by 0.
Yeah.
People will die.
All right, so.
Anyways, back to the icebreaker.
Back to the icebreaker question.
I think we may have stalled long enough. Anybody have an answer?
Do you have an answer, Das?
In the interest of speeding things up, I'm just gonna go with an old default Cajun man.
What are your powers, Cajun man? The ability to digest any food without, and no matter how spicy.
The digest any food and the ability to create spice where there is none. It's a great trick at parties.
That actually reminds me of an anime. I won't get into it, but it's a comedy anime.
See, before we actually got started, I actually went to a generic superhero website, like a generator to generate names. It just made me laugh because
well, to be
I was
fair,
trying to
it
come
is
up
a
with
pretty hard question.
It is a very hard question. I was trying to come up with a name, but it just made me laugh. And you guys will get why, and I'll explain why to our audience here in just a second. But the name that it generated for me the first time I went around was The Incredible Puma. The reason why this is funny for those guys is because we used to have a member on Generation Z whose name was Pumjetsu. His name was derived from a combination of the animal puma and ninjutsu, or ninjutsu. So his name was combined from those two. And it's just, he's still around occasionally, but one of his nicknames was Puma. We call him it on the board all the time, and it just made me laugh when that happened. I'm like,
Oh,
this is great.
Amazing.
This is great. But as far as, I mean, I don't even know what my superhero ability would be if I had one. It's just such a hard question.
Quick, pull a character from a GC story.
Inspector Javert, the Inspector Gadget ripoff.
Which story is that one from? Because I don't even.
Well, I mean,
remember.
it's basically like I'm from United. I'm basically Inspector Gadget and the Terminator both.
Yeah. Inspector Javert.
I would have thought that was what was an 10 King story? I forgot.
Zodiac.
Yeah, I thought that would have been Zodiac.
No, what was he in Zodiac?
I don't really remember what I was in Zodiac. It's been such a long time since I've read him.
Like some sort of like Terminator ripoff in Zodiac.
No, that was United.
Yeah, that was United. No, I'm trying to remember. It was something really ridiculous in Zodiac.
Let me see.
Everything in Zodiac was completely ridiculous.
Yeah, but yours especially kind of broke the meta, like the GZ character meta, because we all have one.
Yes, I mean, granted, Tom is always good with guns.
Yeah.
Puma's always a ninja. Always.
I actually don't have anything established. I'm different in every story.
But at the same time, your meta was that kind of you always some sort of derivative of Gambit.
Yeah, I'm always
Gambit.
Cajun. That's the one constant. Is I'm always Cajun.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Generation Z has a sub-forum on there where we have Generation Z stories where the characters are based on the member base.
Yep.
So if you join the forum, you could be part of a story.
Yes.
At generationz.jcinc.net.
Yes.
Yes.
We're doing a great job plugging GZ. We're making up for the last 3-4 weeks.
We're doing a great job of plugging GZ, but we're not doing a great job of answering your question.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, again, it is a pretty hard question. I think I kind of have an answer now.
All right, what
this page?
The problem is I can't think of a name. Because I wanted
Asian man?
I was gonna say I wanted something distinctly Japanese.
Yeah, I was thinking secret Asian man.
I almost pulled that one. I almost did pull that one. But no, instead of being my usual good with guns, I think what would be awesome is if I had the ability to. Of course, my answer is more serious. I think it would be awesome to have the ability to control sound waves and like air pressure and stuff. Like one of my characters from my webcomic.
That would be cool.
And
especially with your musical background.
Yeah, and like my character's weapon would be like a flute. And like I could fight with it. Like that would be amazing.
I think Das has an answer for what I was in Zodiac.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You were basically the opposite of Acid. Like Acid was purple Acid, you were green Acid.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was, because there was a big thing at the end of you two fighting because it was Acid versus Acid.
It's been such a long time since I've read that story.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo King's not even around anymore, is he?
No, he's not around.
He doesn't even like pop up occasionally, poor guy.
He needs to pop up more often.
He was an awesome dude. And
pretty much
great.
Pretty much we haven't had that many bad members on GT. There've been a few.
Yeah, but like
not to name names, but
yeah, but like the thing is that too.
Rodfather.
I think the other thing too, though, is that not to brag for the staff or anything, but generally speaking, the staff generally will take care of a bad member very quickly.
Yeah.
And like I
true.
said, it's not meant to be because both me and Javier, if you're watching this and you're not part of Generation Z, myself and Javier, we're actually moderators on the forum. Das is one of our staple members, and it's not to brag or anything on us necessarily. Is because we actually don't have the power to ban people. We can prevent them from posting, but we can't ban.
Yeah.
So generally,
We can't ban, but the admins can.
yeah, but the admins can. And despite the fact that we rarely ever see the admins anymore, their action is like it's like rapid deployment stuff.
They're very good at being admins. They just aren't as active as they used to be.
It's like as soon as we need them, they appear.
Yeah, which
The admin men.
which for me and Javier is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because if they did not show up at all, we would have our hands full.
Well, and the thing is, like, I don't think it's really bragging on you guys because I mean what you're talking about goes back to before you guys were even admin mods, where the mods just were good at their job.
Yeah.
Well, because we care about the forum.
Yeah.
Because it's an awesome place.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
go there.
Yeah.
Generation Z.net.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Generation Z, all right? And we can definitely say this, and we actually have merit. It's one of the few places on the internet that is not volatile.
Yeah.
We are generally very welcoming. If there's somebody who isn't, they get reprimanded pretty hard.
Yeah, we're a family, basically.
Yeah. And we're open to including new members on our family. So even if you're like a celebrity, by the way, Tadao, Tomatsu, if you're watching this, we met at Anime Detour. Hey, if you want to check it out, come join Generation Z. Blake Foster too.
Yeah, Blake Foster needs to join Generation Z.
Yeah.
We need to get him on because he would. I know he would be down.
See, I mean, he doesn't even need to join the forum. I just think it'd be awesome if we could interview him.
Yeah.
Just get him on the Zcast.
Yeah, just
get him on one episode.
A guest on the Zcast.
And that would be huge for us.
Yes.
Because I'm willing to bet this video might have 20 views.
Yeah, but
eventually,
if we talked to Blake Foster, he would post it on his Facebook, and then all of a sudden,
we'd be
GZ would be DDoSed.
It would probably.
With his fan base, we'd get shut down from overuse.
The Blue Crew.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
All right.
Although they're not quite as rabid as other fan bases. Anyway, Javier.
I'm still trying to come up with. I don't really know what name I would do, but honestly, the power I would want would be the power to not get tired.
That's a good one, actually.
Effective.
Like basically, I mean, I don't even need super strength or anything like that, but just no matter what, you just don't get exhausted, you don't get tired, you just keep going.
Just last longer in a fight.
Limitless endurance, basically. You just run and run and
run. The Endurer. That's my name. I am the Endurer.
Let's be honest though, like, if you don't get like any powers except that, you could accomplish a lot with just that.
You can accomplish almost anything.
Yeah.
Because
you don't have to worry about running out of energy to do stuff. You don't have the same limitations that some other superheroes would. Like you could do night guards if if you're like a part of a group of heroes. Like you could do night guard and like not care.
Mm-hmm. You could easily become. I mean, it could be a very effective power.
Yes.
And it's actually practical.
Yeah.
Unlike Cajun Men. Sorry, Das.
Hey, but I don't think Cajun Man, the intent was to be practical. Because I like me some spicy food.
The intention was to be awesome.
Where is it? God.
What are you looking for, Das?
I'm looking for an image to pull up for our next topic. It's not coming up.
Are we talking about are we moving on to news now?
If you guys are done, we can move on to nerdy news.
Okay.
I think I know the image you're trying to pull up.
And it's not coming up.
Oh, okay. I think I know. It's got me sold on what we're going to talk about, believe it or not.
God. Come on.
Welcome to the Zcast, where everybody surfs the internet.
There it is.
Yep.
Go to Generation Z.
Are you going to do it?
Link in the description.
There we go. All right. Can I share this one tab?
You should be able to. We're on a new site here, so we're trying to figure it out.
Okay.
In the meantime, while we're trying to figure this out, You can.
Actually, I think I got it.
Okay, never mind.
And boom.
Screen share? Yeah. Oh. What the crap?
Oh.
What the dude?
Dang it.
Really?
I had it.
Hold on, no, it's got to be a lot slower, Javert. Just.
It was there.
I was golf clapping.
Oh, that was wrong. That was just sick.
Well, it's a good laugh.
I got it up. Google results not found.
All right, let's try this one then.
Nope.
Wait, go to images. Go to images.
Man, Das is just really struggling to get it up now, isn't he?
Search by image, dude.
Whoa! I didn't know I could do this. Okay. No, it doesn't come up when you search images.
No, search by image, dude.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
There it is.
Yaha! You need to learn how to use Google.
Hey, look. Okay, I know how to use the old. I know how to use the old search engines. Okay.
Google is an old search engine.
No,
Google is the search engine. It is. People don't even say search it online. They say Google it.
Yeah,
Yes.
but okay, but like the old Boolean operators don't work on Google. I found this out.
Yeah, that's because Google uses an entirely different crawler system.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay. I'm still searching in the 90s. Okay.
Oh, like Yahoo?
Yeah, Yahoo, MSN.
Well,
back in the
no,
day.
MSN doesn't exist anymore. It's now Bing.
Yeah, but no, Yahoo is Bing.
No.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is now.
Yeah. Bing is Yahoo and Microsoft trying to take down Google and failing. All right, so anyway, this is what we're talking about. The new image of Jared Leto as the Joker. It took way longer than it should have.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, so this was just released by the director of Suicide Squad as a kind of a nod to the 75th anniversary of the Joker and to raise hype for the movie. And I gotta say, I like it. Like as a longtime fan of the Joker, I like it.
I think what I like about it is that it's not trying to be Heath Ledger's Joker.
Or Jack Nicholson Joker.
Or
Exactly.
Mark Hamill's. Like it's trying to be its own Joker, and that is something that has always worked well. Heath Ledger was a complete departure from the standard Joker fare. Mark Hamill was more in line with what the comics do, but I mean, that entire project was done so well that it worked.
Well, he's just got such a great voice for that particular role. Like
Right.
he has the, when you think of the Joker for the most part, up until at least 2008, you thought of Mark Hamill's voice.
Yeah.
Even though Jack Nicholson was amazing in the role, a lot of time people would think of the Joker as Mark Hamill's Joker as opposed to Jack Nicholson.
Exactly.
Right. It's just but I gotta admit, we've been lucky that most people that portray the Joker have done a good job, and I think it's because the character is so beloved, people will put the extra effort to make it good.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing. You look at almost all comic book villains, for the most part. Not all of them, because there have been a few that have been bad in the movies, specifically anything from Spider-Man 3. But, but I mean, you look at Dr. Octopus in the second Spider-Man. You look at most of the villains that we've seen. They've been portrayed in a good way. I mean, Norman Osborn in the original Spider-Man movie was amazing, done by what's his name? I completely drawing a blank, and I know his name. William Dafoe. Willem Dafoe, not Willem.
Oh, yes, Willem Dafoe.
He was fantastic as the Green Goblin in that movie, despite the fact that the suit was, well, the suit.
Eh.
But I mean, we have seen a lot of really good comic book movie villains. The
Yeah.
Joker has always been done very well. Now, granted, I take that I should clarify, because Jack Nicholson did a great job, but then before they become really popular, you look at like Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
So I guess it's more recent trends have seen really good villains.
Well,
but
I don't know. I did like Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
he did a good job. Yeah, very
Yeah,
true.
it just depends on which Two-Face you enjoy, but no, like that's the thing about the Joker is like even like the original from the '60s. I think it was Cesar Romero. did a good job. But each Joker has been different. None of them have tried to copy each other, and that's why they've been successful.
I think the second you try to emulate somebody else's performance as opposed to being your own character is when you're getting in trouble, unless you are trying to portray the same character. Like literally the same character in the same continuation of the same thing. For example, Ewan McGregor is portraying Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars movies.
Yes.
He kind of had to draw upon what Alec McGuinness did in the original movies because he was portraying a younger version of that character.
But what he did was he did more of himself in episode 1, and then as time went on and the character got older, he started slipping more into what Alec Guinness was like. Even using some of the same lines the same way to kind of force that connection in people's heads.
And he did a good job with it.
Yeah, it was very, very well done. I love Ewan McGregor as an actor. Oh, okay. I got something else to add to the list.
Okay. He's adding something to the list, everybody. It's big news.
It is for me.
Okay, but anyway, but I think that this is a great first look at the Suicide Squad. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that movie as a whole, but I'll probably end up seeing it when it comes out. But I think it's a good tease.
Yeah. See, the thing about the Suicide Squad that frustrates me, and and I think I've said this on the show before, is it basically invalidates Arrow as being in the DC universe that they're creating.
See, the problem is with what they're doing, not just with Arrow. I mean, unlike the Marvel universe, where all the TV shows that are coming out are going to be set in the same universe as the movies, there's going to be a DC TV universe and a DC movie universe. Where I mean, I don't even think Gotham is set in the same series as Arrow and the Flash.
No, I don't think it is.
But you look at, I mean, what Marvel's doing, like I said, they're cross-platform one universe.
Yeah.
DC is, okay, we've got all this great content. Why are we limiting it to one universe? We're making Gotham, which is still a Batman prequel, but it's not limited by what the other shows are doing. We got the Arrow and the Flash on the CW, which are their own universe. Then they have the movies like Batman vs. Superman, which is ignoring all that other stuff and just being its own thing. So, I mean, we have all this different DC content, and it's to each their own. Do you like the shared universe that the Marvel's doing? But then that makes it more important that you see every little last detail, or not necessarily important, because if you miss Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's not like you're missing out on the movies. Mm-hmm. But, everything's connected, so it does make it a little more important to see everything, otherwise you might miss something. Or do you like it disconjointed, where if I see this and I don't see that, it's not going to affect anything?
Yeah, I think it's all... It's very relative. That's actually a great way of putting it. See, me, I'm a big fan of the epic, the epic fusion of worlds. So, like, when I see the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I love it because I can take all these different things and put them together, and just see it, just see it come together before my eyes, and it looks amazing. Whereas, like, and it also doesn't help that I'm very, very partial to Stephen Amell's Green Arrow. Even though he's not 100% accurate to the comics, he does a fantastic job. So I love that series.
The one thing I would say is I don't mind the idea of not having a shared universe. I mean, I definitely prefer the shared universe like you. I definitely prefer the Marvel universe to the non-shared universes. But what I will say is if you are going to do a shared universe or not do a shared universe, don't try to make it a shared universe later on. Mm-hmm. Like there are certain shows, one that we've talked about many times, I've been here being Power Rangers, is that it was not really a shared universe. They tried to establish it as kind of one, but it was a very loose one. Mm-hmm. But then they tried to bring it all together in Super Mega Force, and it just didn't work.
Now, if you want to see it where it did work, the Wild Force episode Forever Red brought everything together.
Very true. But like, don't try to force something. Like, if it's not there, don't try to force a shared universe. Like, if they all of a sudden decided to say, okay, we're going to include Green Arrow and Batman vs. Superman just because we can.
Yeah.
Like, I would hate for them right now. I'm glad with what they're doing with Spider-Man is they're actually taking Spider-Man back to basics again in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as opposed to trying to fit the Amazing Spider-Man into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
Which just would not have worked.
Yeah, well, just like the whole reason we're getting Batman rebooted is because Christopher Nolan's Batman would not work in a Justice League setting.
Well, and Christian Bale really did not want to return to the role anymore.
Well, yeah, there's that. But anyway, back to this image. I love the image. I'm very optimistic for this portrait of the Joker, and I love that they chose this pose because it goes back to one of the most iconic Joker images. Let's see if I can do this correctly. Here's my image. Come on. That one. That is one of the most iconic Joker images, and the fact that they went for that exact pose or something very close to it tells me that they're doing the research on this.
See, I would like that a little more if he was actually wearing the purple jacket.
Yeah.
Now,
but no, I get what you're going with there, though.
Yeah. So that's
okay. So
yeah,
allow me to jump in as the wild card in this conversation.
Aha.
No pun intended. Or was there pun intended?
It kind of was because I'm the only one in the Zcast who's really not a superhero fan. However, seeing Jared Leto as Joker has sold me on Suicide Squad. In addition to Will Smith and a few others. But here's the thing, right? I read something interesting about the Jared Leto as Joker, that specific image. Yes, you do have a good point, Javert, about the purple jacket. He would look awesome in the purple jacket. But I think there's something else here at play. And the reason why I say that is because we had addressed that Jared Leto's Joker is going to be his own Joker. He's not trying to be Heath Ledger. He's not trying to be Mark Hamill. He's not trying to be Jack Nicholson. In that same vein, you notice Jared Leto is also a little bit smaller physically compared to the other Jokers. So I think I think that's gonna play into the character in some form or another because he's a lot less physically imposing now. You know,
which is how the Joker operates in a lot of different continuities.
Yes, he's not the strongest physically. He's not the strongest character. But darn it, he's crafty. He's a crafty SOB.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he'll get tossed around a lot by Batman, but then he's got something set up as a trap. Oh, we lost Takio.
Wait, video or audio?
Takio, you still there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Okay.
A
little
that
latency,
was not meant to be
okay.
a throwback to a commercial. That was from the 90s.
Go join Generation Z. But I mean, yeah, I think it adds to the character when you see him like that because he's not big.
That and the tattoos, because tattoos is something the Joker has not really touched on before. Like it's not something they've used a lot with the Joker in other incarnations.
I mean, and you look at the way the comic books work, though. Like going back years and years ago, the comic books had a set of what the Joker was, but then you see portrayals in the movie like Jack Nicholson and like Heath Ledger. And then you look at the comics that came out shortly thereafter those movies came out. The portrayal of the character in those types of movies or those type of comics are now different because of what we've seen on screen.
Right.
This looks like it's getting back to basics with the Joker, where it is back to that undersized person, where it's not a physically imposing Joker. It's not so much it's still the crazy Joker that we all know, but it's not so much watching the world burn the way Heath Ledger's was.
He's not going to be someone that can go toe-to-toe with Batman
head on
in a fight.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's not the watch the world burn of Heath Ledger. It's watch the world laugh of the old comics and Mark Hamill.
Very true. All right, now I think that we have exhausted that subject.
Yeah, all right. I'm a Joker fanboy, so I tend to go off.
Yes, but we spent probably a good 10 minutes talking about a picture. One picture.
It's amazing. All right,
We're
so
nerds.
anyway,
It's
next
what
up,
we
keeping
do.
with the superheroes, we're going to move to the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Age of Ultron is coming out in the US this week. Friday, May 1st, I believe.
Yes, this upcoming Friday. We are recording this as we're recording this. It's less than a week away.
Yeah.
Okay, but wait, guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I get. Yeah, it's Age of Ultron. Like, I'm gonna again be the wild card here. The odd guy out, and because I'm not a superhero fan, like I'm not looking forward to the Avengers Age of Ultron. The trailer looks really shiny, though. I'll admit that it looks
shiny.
really pretty, but like like ultimately the only reason that if I go see the Avengers, pretty much the only reason I'm gonna go to see it is to see what the big deal is about. Unfortunately, I had that mentality going into the first Avengers and left disappointed as a non superhero fan. So it's, I guess, like I said, I'm the odd guy out here. So I really have nothing useful to add other than that.
Well, and what I'm going to say here is that, going off what Takio just said, if you're not a superhero fan, I can see how the first Avengers would be a disappointing movie. I mean, because it is a very good movie, but the biggest thing that made it so popular was the spectacle of seeing all of the different heroes come together.
Right, and seeing the different things from the Marvel universe coming up, like the helicarrier, that, as I've said, that made me, nerdgasm so hard because I'm like, it's the helicarrier.
Yeah, and I mean, exactly. It's amazing to see all that stuff come together and to see it in one movie, in one spectacle. And to see it come together the way that it did was just incredible.
Right.
But at the same time, as far as the movie goes, I think that there were much better movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like the first Iron Man, like the first Thor, like
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think the best movie in the entire universe was Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
that's my personal opinion.
Fantastic.
Now, I mean, a lot of people still rate the Avengers as number one because it is such a spectacle, because it is such an amazing accomplishment. It's a very fun movie, but without the other movies in the universe, you take out everything in Phase 1 up to that point and just show Avengers.
Yeah,
it doesn't hold up quite as well.
No, it's the payoff.
Whereas you look at Winter Soldier, you really don't need that much background to understand everything. Like, even people who had never seen the first Captain America or Avengers could kind of understand what was going on. The only thing that would throw you off is the fact that this guy from the 50s is now living in present day. Why is that? But
yeah, and if you know the Captain America story, which most people do, you can be caught up on it.
Exactly. So I feel like, I mean, there are definitely better movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe than the first Avengers, but the payoff was done in such a great way. And I'm very excited to see what Joss Whedon has done here in the second one to figure out how it's going to work as far as a sequel, as far as can they top the original and still have that grand spectacle feel.
Right.
Especially considering they're using, a character like the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Quicksilver we already saw on screen in X-Men Days of Future Past. It's a different incarnation of the character, and I'm curious to see how that's going to play out with that character in particular.
Right. And the other thing that really made Avengers so good was the chemistry between the actors, which is not something they could have really anticipated going in, but it just...
Des? Uh-oh. Whoa, hold on. We got technical difficulties.
But I think what he was getting at, and I can understand what he was getting at there, about the chemistry between the actors.
Hold on a second.
You're back. I can hear you at least.
Yeah, and it actually cut out when you were making your point there, Des. About
you had said the chemistry between the actors is something that we couldn't anticipate, and we were left to wonder where you were going with that.
The chemistry between the actors was something that you couldn't really anticipate going in, but it just ended up working out so well, especially when you see, Robert Downey Jr. and Mark
Ruffalo, yes,
playing off of each other with the, high intelligent sci-fi science stuff, and then seeing Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans going at it over, the merits of their characters.
Yeah, I mean, it really worked well, like you said. I think the thing, though, about part of why Ruffalo, I think, was chosen in the role is because of how well he could play off the other actors in the series. Because, I mean, you look at, I would have preferred to have seen how Ed Norton would have done in the Avengers as the Hulk. Literally playing the same part that Ruffalo did.
Right.
But I don't know if he would have been had Ed Norton came back. Just that shared universe aspect of not recasting a character.
Right.
But I don't know if he would have played off the others quite as well as Ruffalo did.
See, and that's the thing, that's like, what I noticed is that both Mark Ruffalo and Ed Norton did a very good Bruce Banner, but like you said, the question is whether Norton would have worked as well with the other actors.
And they don't, like you said, they both did a good Bruce Banner, but it kind of felt different from each other a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which they explained by saying that he disappeared and was off the grid for so long, and that kind of changed him a bit as a person.
Yeah, it's understandable, but it still is. It kind of makes the Incredible Hulk feel disjointed as a movie.
Yeah, it does. But I'm excited because like as soon as I saw the Hulkbuster, I was on board the hype train because oh, see, but back in the '90s, I was a huge fan of the Spider-Man cartoon and the Iron Man cartoon. So seeing things like that brought in, like just like the Halo carrier from the first one, as soon as I see it on screen, I'm just gonna lose it because
I'm just curious to see how they're going to explain Tony Stark still having Iron Man suits or having rebuilt Iron Man suits after Iron Man 3.
that is a very good point.
And I hope they do explain it and not just say, oh, it happened off screen.
Yeah.
I hope there is some sort of explanation for what's going on now.
Well, what we might get is some kind of like a flashback of him like basically without the suits he was just kind of sitting around and then he's like and you just see him go down and make a suit or something like almost like he got bored or like he felt there was a need for it or something.
We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for the movie. I know a lot of people are excited for the movie. It's actually already aired overseas. Came out on the 23rd over in UK and a couple different places.
Oh, I know.
So it has become pretty popular on social media. If you're really interested, there are probably spoilers online if you want to read about the movie. I have now officially banned myself from going to the IMDb page because I don't want spoilers.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
But I'm excited to see how this movie plays out. I mean, people have been joking that with all the clips that Marvel's releasing, it's like you've seen the whole movie already. But I mean, they've released like 15 minute to a minute and a half long clips.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous, but it's still exciting.
Yeah, and see, like I'm really excited because I know where they're going with their plan because I've seen what they have laid out for us. I'm excited to see how this gets us there and where this movie takes them in terms of the overall plot.
All right, and sticking with the Marvel Cinematic Universe here really quickly, Daredevil has aired on Netflix officially.
Yes.
It is now a street level drama version of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's got connections to the rest of the universe, but it can also stand on its own.
Mm-hmm. Which I think was a good choice.
It was a very good choice. Now we aren't going to spend too much time on Daredevil because, well, none of us have seen it.
We're bad Marvel fans.
We are, but
you are bad Marvel fans.
We are bad Marvel fans. Takio's just not a superhero fan. But I have heard nothing but praise for the series.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard that it's very serious, very dark, very brutal, graphic violence.
I've heard that it went more back to the old comics as opposed to kind of what we got from the Ben Affleck one.
See, and the thing about the Ben Affleck one, I think it gets a really bad reputation. It was not a terrible movie. Like, you can still even go back now, and it's not terrible. Mm-hmm. Part of it's bad. It was a bad director's choice. Like, I mean, Jon Favreau did a fine job, and the director's cut is actually really good. But some of the action shots are it was badly choreographed, I guess I should say. I mean, I don't want to say Jon Favreau did a bad job with the movie, because he didn't. But, like, Michael Clark Duncan was a fantastic Kingpin.
Yes, he absolutely was.
Ben Affleck was not a bad Daredevil. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. And especially when you see the more blind lawyer side of him that they portray in the director's cut, that side was not as bad.
Right.
But I do think, though, from everything I've heard, that Charlie Cox is probably a better Matt Murdock, is a better Daredevil. It's it's less of the sleek, leathery look that the costume in the movie went for, and more of an actual combat gear type look.
Right, and that's from what I've heard from people who know that's what the original costume looked like. That it wasn't, the spandex. It was something more practical because he's an underpaid lawyer. This is what he can make. Well,
and not just that, but I mean, he's blind. Why does he care what the costume really looks like?
Exactly.
Like, somebody was joking online today, and it made me laugh. He's like, if I was the guy who was hired to make the Daredevil costume, as soon as I found out that Matt Murdock was blind, I just would have made it pink and sparkly.
Would have not been like Kenshi from Mortal Kombat at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for it, especially because I've heard that Vincent D'Onofrio did a very good job as Kingpin, which
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Vincent D'Onofrio already, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. I just need to find a way to watch it because I don't have Netflix. I'll probably end up starting a free trial of Netflix actually here shortly, but I just need to find time to watch it.
Yeah, well, that's the crux for all of us, isn't it?
Because unlike say Age of Ultron, I'm gonna go probably see it next weekend because I work till 6 one evening, or on Friday or whatever I work till 6. But then I can go see the movie that night, and it takes up my part of my night. But then I'm done.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go.
Daredevil is like a 13-hour event, and it's supposed to be watched kind of back to back to back as much as you can.
Because Netflix figured out that that's how people watch Netflix.
Binge watching.
Not just that, but they actually said that Daredevil as a series was actually filmed as a 13-hour movie to have logical stopping points, but still, the director himself said he viewed it more as like a 13-hour one story that just keeps going.
Very nice.
So I'm like, well, that's great, but if I don't have 13 hours to watch it, I'm not going to want to stop in the middle. If you're watching a movie, you don't want to stop an hour in.
I hate that.
I get that with anime.
Yeah. So yeah, I've heard a lot of praise for the Daredevil series. It's already been picked up for a second season. So we're looking forward to it. We will let you know when we've seen it, and because we'll probably be talking about it on here.
Exactly. All right, a little more Z news, or not Z news. This is not Z news. Nerdy news.
All right, the next thing I have is real quick. Mortal Kombat 10 has come out. I have played it a bit. A friend of mine has it. I love it. It is fantastic. It carries over a little bit of what Injustice added to the formula, but it still feels like a whole new game. It has a lot of improvements, and the characters look great. We were playing the PS4 version, which I don't know if there's a graphical difference between the two, but one nice thing about the PS4 version is if you have a fight stick for for PS3, it works on PS4 with Mortal Kombat 10.
Really?
There was an indie game company that made drivers so that you could use your fight stick for their game, and they came out and said, "Hey, game devs, if you want to use our drivers, you can." And NetherRealms was like, "Yes, we'll take that." So if you want to play Mortal Kombat 10 with a fight stick, you only need a PS3 fight stick.
That is amazing.
That is pretty cool.
I love NetherRealms. But yeah, for those of you that don't know Mortal Kombat, basically, you've got your standard list of fighters, but each fighter has 3 different modes that you can do. Like, for example, Scorpion has, I think, Hellfire, Inferno, and something else, and his skills and combos will change based on which version you pick. Like, there's one guy that his entire move list changes because he goes for a more demonic possession thing over his normal fighting. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, so it works very well. The controls feel very good. It's just NetherRealms know what they're doing, so it's a good Mortal Kombat game.
Very cool.
Yeah, I played it the one time, so I don't have too much to say, but it's a good game. If you liked previous Mortal Kombats or Injustice, you'll like this one.
Now, here's my thing, right? Again, I'm the wild card. Although probably less so this time around. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not an MK fan by any means. I am a huge fan of Japanese fighters. I am a huge Tekken fan. However, when I saw MK10, it was like, okay, because I'm all about brutality, and Mortal Kombat's always been brutal. I just never liked it. So, but when I saw MK10, I'm like, okay,
those X-rays though.
Well, I mean, X-rays were in MK9, but it's just something about 10. They did something with 10 that's like, okay, because the thing about Mortal Kombat, it's one of only 2 American-made fighting games. The other one being Killer Instinct, and they are both known for their violence. which ironically
Why?
I didn't like either of them for that very reason. I was always more of a kind of a technical fighter fan, which is how Japanese fighters are made. They tend to go more towards technical skill as opposed to button mashing. But when I saw I saw the Ozcast of all people play MK10, and they're not MK fans either. Specifically Hat Films, they were the ones who did MK10, and I saw it. I was like, wait a minute, it's an MK game, but it looks a lot from a control standpoint. It looks a lot more technical because they pulled up the move list and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
this is something that kind of plays right into me, more towards my style. And since I now have a fight stick, and it's out on PC,
and that was what that was one thing Injustice brought to the table, was it got very technical with its combos and movesets. And that's basically what was explained to me by someone who's been playing Mortal Kombat from the old arcade days. Is 9 improved upon the formula. Injustice took the formula of 9 and improved upon it. 10 took the formula of Injustice and 9 and improved upon it. So like each game has been a steady improvement. Just, one was you had Mortal Kombat, then DC Universe, then Mortal Kombat again.
Well, even so, but you look at what Mortal Kombat started off as. It started off as an arcade game, like you mentioned, with a joystick and 2 buttons.
Yeah.
So it was really
4.
hard to be kind of
4 buttons.
4 buttons, yeah.
I was thinking a lot of them were 2 button mashing, but anyway, even with 4 buttons, it's hard to be pretty technical when you only have 4 buttons.
Right.
Now that we've gotten into the more technical gaming, where you have all sorts of more buttons on their controllers, you can actually do more things, be more technical, have more ability to it than just button mashing.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is what a lot of the old fight games started off as, which is why they were so violent, because there was no skill to it. It was who can bash the buttons the faster.
Right.
Well, Street Fighter necessarily wasn't like that, because Street Fighter always operated on 6 buttons.
Well, at least with 6 buttons, you're getting into more technical stuff there.
But like,
yeah, and
The more buttons you have, the more stuff you can do, obviously.
yeah,
but
MVC was always 6 buttons too.
Here's the thing about Mortal Kombat that not necessarily got to me, but I thought was actually kind of interesting for the fighting game industry. Mortal Kombat was the first fighting game where you could do special attacks using nothing but the D-pad.
Mm-hmm.
Like Street Fighter has always been, you input a command on a D-pad, you do certain directions, then you press an action button.
Yeah.
Tekken is like that too, for the most part. Unless you play certain characters who have different stances and stuff like that. Believe it or not, my best Tekken character is also the hardest to master, which is actually Lei Wulong. He has the most complex moveset, and he's a high-risk, high-reward type of character. Now, without diving into specifics and technicalities and stuff like that, Mortal Kombat still kind of does the whole you could use directions without pressing an action button. It's just now with like the way the scheme is set up and stuff like that. The other thing is too is that they actually tell you what the moves are. Like that was my biggest issue with Mortal Kombat back in the day was, and Street Fighter, because I didn't get good at Street Fighter until much later, like teen years, and I grew up on a SNES. So when Mortal Kombat came out, I would get creamed by everybody. It didn't matter. Like I'd even get creamed by the new players because even they knew what some of the basics moves were. I had no idea.
And that was a staple of the old arcade days. Was the only way to learn the techniques or the combos was to have someone tell you. And if you were in an arcade environment where the best players weren't sharing secrets because they didn't want to lose, then you were kind of stuck.
Or you had to find another way to learn it. Like you buy the game and you learn them.
Yeah.
I had to take that approach with not related to the fighting games at all, but I had to take that approach with Tony Hawk's, the first Tony Hawk's game. Learning all the special moves that way. It's just trial and error, and it would compared to like Street Fighter, which the irony about Street Fighter is that I got really good on Street Fighter playing the worst Street Fighter game, which is EX3. It was the 3D Street Fighter where you had you could move in and out. It was but I got good at Street Fighter by combining what I knew from Tekken with what I learned in Street Fighter EX. So like now, like with the new Mortal Kombat, I think it was starting in I I think it was Deadly Alliance was the first to have a move list that you could look at. And after that, I was like, oh, okay. But like at that point, it was kind of a little too late type of deal in my case because I was like, it was too late for me to get into it. But again, MK10 or MKX, it doesn't matter what you call it.
Yeah.
It does look, as someone who's a huge fan of brutality, it does look like, something, okay, maybe I might actually get into it this time. Especially since it's released on PC.
As much as you like brutality, you will enjoy Mortal Kombat 10. It makes you cringe at times.
Oh, I know. I even thought, I'm like, man, if I had the opportunity to go to NetherRealm and develop my own character, or like Takeo from Moonlit Knights gets famous enough to be in Mortal Kombat, I'm like, I would love to design a Mortal Kombat character around, my character around from Moonlit Knights or one other character that I could come up with. I just miss Striker. Striker's not in MK10 as a playable character. He's my favorite character.
I know. MK10's the first one I'm gonna actually buy, and I am just now getting into fighting games. Like, Injustice really started it. A friend of mine introduced me to it, and now I'm kind of getting hooked. But I'm so behind.
Hey, don't feel bad. I didn't know how good BlazBlue was until this year.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that one.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
But before we get on another tangent, the last bit of nerdy news I have that I added in the middle was Ewan McGregor being cast as Lumiere for the live-action Beauty and the Beast. Holy crap! I cannot contain my hype.
Wait. Who's he playing in the live-action Beauty and the Beast?
Lumiere.
The candlestick.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now a little bit of background. In high school, I was in Beauty and the Beast, and I was Lumiere. He is one of my favorite Disney characters of all time. And the fact that Ewan McGregor was picked to play him, Ewan McGregor is one of my favorite actors. This combined with Emma Watson as Belle, this is too much for me to handle.
And Ian McKellen.
And Ian McKellen as Cogsworth. It's like,
Ian McKellen. Yeah, I don't know why I said McKinnon.
Yeah. So
I don't know who Ian McKinnon is, but I'm sorry, I was not just breaking news to you, Ian. You did not get cast as Cogsworth. It was Ian McKellen.
I'm just imagining some poor British guy just like, oh.
But yeah, I am so hyped for this movie. Because Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite movies, and all these superstars that I really enjoy are being cast, and so excited.
It is very exciting news, but you skipped over a little bit of news there, Das. But Ewan McGregor ties back into it. Star Wars, Episode 7.
Yeah, I forgot we skipped that one, yeah.
Trailer debuted. Ewan McGregor ties in because of the prequel trilogy, but that's all. The only real reason. Anyway, trailer 2 of Star Wars Force Awakens came out, and it looks really, really good, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember much about it because I saw it like when I was dead tired, but
it got something like 81 million views in like 2 days.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, from what I remember, I think it looked really good.
It does look. It looks very good. And I love the shot at the end of Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Mm-hmm.
Chewie, we're home. That was a cool line.
It's seeing a somewhat too old Harrison Ford.
Well, it's not, he's not too old. He's just playing a much more mature version of the character, which is. I mean, I'm used to seeing Harrison Ford now in the older role because I saw him in Ender's Game and I saw him in 42, where he was playing older characters. Mm-hmm. So now seeing Harrison Ford as Han Solo again, it is kind of weird looking back and looking at him as the young Han Solo.
Yeah.
But it's still, you could tell immediately they were supposed to be Han Solo as opposed to Harrison Ford playing another old character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but the reason why I say that is because just the fact that outside of the movie he doesn't want to talk about it at all. I'm just like, isn't that like one of your favorite characters? Like, did you ever play it in your career? I'm like, come on.
Yeah,
well, there is a rumor that he's still unhappy about the fact that he wanted Han Solo to be killed off in Return of the Jedi. He had been pitching to George Lucas that, hey, this series needs some actual stakes. It needs something, to actually be some loss. It can't just be all happy-go-lucky, everything works out in the end, which is what it actually ended up being.
Right.
but there needs to be something needs to happen. There needs to be some sort of tragic situation. And did we lose Tom?
Hello, hello, hello. Am I good?
Takeo.
Can you hear me?
We're holding. Yes, we can.
Okay.
I don't know what happened there, but he had wanted Han Solo to be killed off in Return of the Jedi, which is one reason I think he's probably going to be killed off in The Force Awakens. But I could be wrong.
I know. I am tempering my excitement because I don't want to get overexcited for it because I don't want to
Be disappointed.
Yeah.
Be disappointed because your own expectations were too high.
Yeah.
Like almost everyone did with Episode 1.
Yeah, and the problem I have with the prequels is I was the target demographic for the prequels. I was 9 when the first one came out. I was 12 when the second one came out. I was 15 when the third one came out. I was the target demographic. So at the time, I enjoyed them because I was what they were catering to. And as I got older, I was like, ah.
I mean, even now, I can still enjoy the prequels for what they are, but they aren't as groundbreaking or that the first one were, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the other thing is, I still enjoy Episode 1, and that's the one that gets panned the most from people I talk to.
Really? Because I would imagine 3 would be the one that was panned the most.
Honestly, the one I've heard is the most. That Attack of the Clones is considered the weakest.
That's the thing. I consider Episode 2 to be the weakest, but a lot of people hate Episode 1 from the people I talk to.
The reason why Episode 1 gets so much hate is because Jar Jar plays such a significant role in the movie. Because the comic relief character is too big.
Yeah.
There's too much of that one character, and that's why it gets so much hate.
Well, and the other thing is, I also enjoyed it a little bit more because I really love the characters of Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul, and I love them so much because I've seen stuff that they do outside of that movie. I've seen a lot of stuff leading into the movie with those characters from the expanded universe. So, for me, those characters make the movie good enough for me. It just,
Well, see, in my case, I'm just a Ray Park fan, and Ray Park played Darth Maul, and he's a darn good martial artist.
Really, the only two weak spots in Episode 1 was not a bad movie compared to some of the Attack of the Clones specifically, I think.
Hey, let's put this out there right now. Let's be honest. That fight scene at the end, the Jedi showdown at the end of Episode 1, that was amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about the prequel trilogy. It's just
Natalie Portman.
There's also a lot to dislike. George Lucas was a fine director, but should never have been put in charge of writing. I'm just throwing that out there. He wrote. Even the original Star Wars, the script is probably the weakest part of it. The direction was awesome, and there were some awesome scenes. But you listen to some of the dialogue, it's just like...
Well, wasn't it that George Lucas was kind of... Das, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. I think there was a... Uh-oh. You guys can still hear me, right? Hello? Hello? Guys? Guys?
Yes?
Is everybody back?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me as well?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay.
Because I can hear you
Rabbit?
and see you, but I lost your air.
I lost... I could hear you and see you, but I lost Das.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
We're just having technical difficulties here. Maybe Rabbit's not the best idea moving forward.
Yeah. We'll try a different service next time.
Yeah. Anyways, wasn't there like there was a kind of a rumor going around? I don't know if it was a rumor or if it's true. That kind of with Star Wars, how it progressed plot wise, it was George Lucas kind of taking the make it up as you go mentality.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, like he had the basic story thought up, but they never thought they would get anywhere beyond the first one. Because it was very low budget, they didn't really know what they were doing.
Well, and even like the biggest plot twist in the entire series history. Obviously, everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert in case you don't. Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Luke's dad.
If you are not below a certain age and you don't know that by now, please please come out of the rock you're hiding behind. Because if you're watching the Zcast, you've been hiding under a rock.
But anyway, getting back to my point, that biggest twist was not originally. It did not exist in the first movie.
Well,
when he wrote the first movie, when he had written the first movie, Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker were two different characters.
Right.
Darth Vader had originally killed Anakin Skywalker. Instead, and then he's like, "Oh, well, we'll just go back and make
it
that
metaphorical."
Yeah, make it from a certain point of view.
Yeah, that.
And the whole thing with Luke and Leia.
Yeah, obviously, that was obviously not planned because otherwise they would not have kissed in the second movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like really, like.
Which does make it, if you watch the movies in order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
5 has to be the most cringeworthy moment because you know from episode 3 that not only does Luke have a twin sister named Leia,
but they
like that's one thing I wish they would have left out in episode 3 that would have made it a little bit better is rather than having Padme name the babies and actually say Luke and Leia, actually have her die in childbirth, not die from a broken heart, actually die in childbirth, and then when Luke goes to live with Owen and Owen Lars, they name him Luke, and Leia gets named such by her adoptive parents.
Yeah.
That would have been, and like not even give that name. Don't even say during the movie that that's Luke and Leia. We would know who that is as fans of the movie, but you don't need to explicitly tell us on screen that, hey, this is Luke and Leia.
We got to bear in mind too is that's the same movie where we get the no. So I mean.
Okay, let's quit bashing the prequels here and go back to talking about the sequel trilogy, episode 7.
Hey, you know what the best thing about the prequel trilogy is?
Yes.
Natalie Portman.
I would say it's Ewan McGregor, actually.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor is probably the best part.
Yeah. But I did like Natalie Portman in her role as well.
No, I mean, I'm just saying Natalie Portman in general.
I mean, the movies themselves... Oh, I'm done talking about the prequels.
Okay.
Yeah,
Episode 7.
But Star Wars, also. A little bit of Star Wars news. Battlefront.
Yeah, we got a Battlefront trailer, and this is one case where I am off the hype train. I want no part of it because
I want part of it, but I'm cautiously optimistic because I know it's EA and I know it's not the same people who did the original games.
Yeah, I am terrified because it's DICE, it's EA, and I'm terrified because LucasArts doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. And
for those of you who don't know, Star Wars Battlefront was essentially Battlefield except takes place in the, it's basically Battlefield but takes place in Star Wars. So we've been waiting, even as non-fans, because I love Battlefront. I'm not even that big of a Star Wars fan, but I love Battlefront. It was so good. But it's like, okay, good news, new Battlefront, yay! It's being developed by DICE. Oh. It's like, okay, we know what happened with Battlefield 4. We know what the deal is with Battlefield Hardline. Now we got freaking DICE doing Battlefront.
Yeah, I'm terrified. But so I'm gonna go in with extremely low expectations and hope to be pleasantly surprised. But
I think the thing though is, as a developer, DICE isn't that bad. It's what they are stuck having to do for EA is what screws them over. Because we know what happened with Battlefield 4, all the crazy technical crap that happened because EA forced them to rush out the game and they had to do a day 1 to 7 patch because of all the technical issues. Now, am I saying that the possibility of that is going to happen with Battlefront? It's EA. I mean, we should have low expectations just because it's EA.
Yeah.
That being said, though...
I mean, having high expectations on anything EA is just setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah. I mean let's be honest. Barring the Def Jam series, which was actually really good. But
yeah, I mean, the last thing EA did that you could go in with high expectations and not be disappointed was Diablo.
Diablo?
The original Diablo was published by Electronic Arts.
Yeah, but they were a publisher, not a developer. Because the thing is, DICE is an EA developer. They're an EA exclusive developer.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Dice. So like, because EA doesn't. I mean, the only hand they have as a publisher in the developers in the developer's role is the money. They're essentially they're a big part of the investment crew. So like publishers don't have a huge hand in development, but at the same time though, Dice is an EA developer. So it's like
well, we're excited for the game, but cautiously optimistic and setting our expectations at a low bar because EA.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got this is the thing about EA is that they either hit one out of the park or they tank so bad. So like this new Battlefront could either be absolutely amazing, and based on the trailer that I've seen, it's a possibility, obviously. But it being EA, it can also tank so stinking hard that it makes Army of Two look like a masterpiece. And I love Army of Two.
What would be really nice is if we could get back to starts with this, but I doubt it.
Well,
LucasArts just doesn't exist anymore, though.
The only one who in the three guys in this podcast, the only one who would have any sway whatsoever would be me, because I work for a maker who works for Disney, who owns LucasArts now, or what was left of LucasArts. And even then, they're not going to listen to the little old Asian guy who runs a YouTube channel who's only got 280 subscribers.
Nah.
You mean you don't have more power than that, Takio?
Hey, trust me, if I would have teamed up with like Lindsey Sterling and the Oscars by now to demand some crazy stuff from Disney.
Nah, I miss the old LucasArts. I was a big fan of their stuff back in the old days. And, yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyway.
Cautious optimism for Battlefront 3.
And extreme pessimism on my part.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's understandable because it is EA.
Yeah,
they did make Shaq
Battlefront.
Fu.
Like that's the thing is Battlefront was so beloved and so, good. So,
Well, the same could be said for Battlefield as well, and that's always been an EA IP.
Yeah. So
Like old Battlefield is still like amazing.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm sure we'll talk about it when the game comes out. All right. So moving on. I think that's all of our nerdy news. So now we're going into our improv segment. Whose Z is it anyway? That is what we called it, right?
Yes.
All right, and Javert is gonna take the lead on that one.
All right, we're just gonna do a few of them here because I know we're running pretty long on time, actually.
It's okay. We haven't done a Zcast in a month.
True, but we aren't gonna. We still don't want to make it like 2 hours long.
Well, I mean, the other thing is but the other thing is that because it's on YouTube,
it doesn't matter.
Well, it's not that it doesn't matter. It's that people can skip to different sections too if they want to. So we have that advantage now with YouTube. Thank goodness for YouTube. As much as I don't always like how Google does things.
All right.
Praise the mighty Google.
Well, we're going to start off with the title of Bill O'Reilly's next book.
Uh-oh.
You can't explain that?
Oh, man.
Killing Journalism.
Oh, this is getting hard. Dash, are you there?
I'm here, just
okay.
thinking.
Killing Bill O'Reilly.
See, I rip on Fox News so much. I should be able to come up with something.
I can't think of anything for that one, guys.
Fair and balanced. But that has to be in quotation marks.
The other side of the news.
All right, well, we'll skip over that one because that one's...
I got nothing.
See, it just makes... I work in a bookstore, so I saw that one. I had to go with that one. Ordinary Things, as presented by sports commentators.
Pen.
What?
What?
Pen. pen, but as a soccer or football commentator.
Okay, I got you. But he's saying with a asking for a pen or getting a pen.
Yeah.
And he inches up forward, and now he is pulling up to the speaker. He is asking for 2 burgers with no mayo. No mayo, ladies and gentlemen. 2 burgers with no mayo. That is a bold move. That is a bold move by the rookie out there. He is now pulling around the corner, and he's pulling out a credit card, not a debit card. Unique. That is his unique style out there, ladies and gentlemen. He is fantastic at this. And now they are handing him out there, and he is on his way.
It doesn't help that the only sport I watch is American football. So.
What was that?
It doesn't help that the only sport I watch is American football, so the commentary style is different.
Oh man, he is coming around the bend. Wait a minute. That is not something we have seen before. That is a button fly, not a zipper fly. We don't know how he's going to get into the urinal on this one, guys.
What is it, the 70s?
He's walking down the aisle now, and oh, look, on his right, he grabbed a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Now he puts it in the basket, and oh, look at that form, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic.
It didn't fall down. All right, he's got the batteries. He's opened the battery cover. He's putting it. Oh, he put it in backwards. That's gonna cost him some time. All right, he's gonna put it in, and he gets the second one. Looks like he's actually gonna be able to do something now. No, okay.
Shit. I think I'm gonna go full Maida on this one. Okay.
I figure it out.
And he is now setting up his microphone. Wait, he's setting up his save file. Wait, okay. Now he is beginning and ready to record. Konnichiwa, mina watashi wa Takeda, and welcome to...
It's funny because I watch the show.
Oh no, he has made a mistake. He stuttered. He's got to go back and say it again. No. Why, Tara? Why? Meta humor, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'd go for the writing of a GG story, but Monty Python's already done that.
I'm trying to do a date as a golf commentator, but it's not working. And my brain's not getting there. Like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, he is now walking into the restaurant. He offers to pull out the chair for the young lady. Or she sits down, and now he sits down across from her. Look, it's got a great distance on that sitting down. I don't know, that makes no sense at all.
See, that tells me you're either really bad at golf or really bad at dating.
I think I'm both, so.
Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the nightly special for John Smith. He is now going to turn on his TV, and his apparent plan is that he will turn on South Park. Oh wait, he's been distracted by a Preparation H commercial. What will he do now? Whoa, what a move! He has changed the channel. That was my attempt at going professional wrestling commentary on a guy watching TV.
Alrighty, the next one. Politically correct superheroes.
Hi, I'm multicultural man.
That's sexist.
I am the holiday defender.
It's adjective person.
Adjective person. Hey, Daz, you're still there, right? Your video feed is cutting in and out.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not forget to cut something else next time.
I am See No Colors Man. Hi, I'm Woman.
Yeah. It's Captain Planet.
Yeah, that was pretty PC.
It was very PC.
It was also pretty awful.
Hey, Captain Planet was a hero. He brought pollution down to 0.
You got it before I could.
Heart. That's all I can think of right now.
No.
The most useless of the 5.
Put Captain Planet up against the polluted core, and then we'll see what happens.
All right, the next one. Pop-up ads you'd actually click.
I know that we're going not safe for work, but there's way too much potential in this one.
See, I was about to go video games, so get your mind out of the gutter, Tom.
My bad.
Yeah, Tom. Wasn't like I was intentionally setting you up for anything sexual at all.
Oh, hey, here we go. Are you a nerd? Here, join Generation Z.
What the hell is that?
If we have GZ pop-ups, that's just gonna show how much there is wrong with this world.
Yeah.
Because that is a level that I would never stoop to.
Hello, Takio froze. And he's gone.
Can you hear me?
Oh, Takio. Are you coming back, Takio?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're definitely switching.
Oh no.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Now I can see you.
Okay, good. Darn it, we're switching to something else next time. I was said next week, but next time.
Josh just said that, so. But you wouldn't have heard it because you were having.
Yeah. Jeez.
Puppies in your area want to play with you.
Oh, yes.
Pop-up comes up. Hey, would you like to block pop-up ads?
Yeah.
Or the ever classic, congratulations, you've won.
That one actually happened. I actually happened to be during a class. It was a really boring class. It was like one of those lecture hall classes.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting in the back of it. I was listening, but I was also half browsing the internet. I thought I had my computer muted. I didn't. I went to a site that normally doesn't have ads, and all of a sudden, I'm sitting in the back of the class, and you just heard, "Congratulations, you've won!" I'm like, oh.
Did you ever see Freddie Wong's video on the winning pop-up ad?
Nah,
I have not.
Oh, you guys got to see it afterwards. It's so good. Oh man, it's. Let's just say that he got a character from THQ before they went under. They gave him permission and the model to use it. Just look up Freddie Wong, Mr. Toots, when you get a chance.
Alrighty. Well, back to pop-up ads you actually click. Click this ad within 30 seconds, so your browsing history will be emailed to all your contacts.
Whoa! I don't want people knowing I was looking up how to build a bomb.
Generation Z, Generation Z, Generation Z, Facebook, Generation Z. Oh, my browsing history is. I'm like GZ Batman. I'm always lurking.
Is that your new character in a GZ story? Your GZ Batman?
GZ Batman. I would have thought that would have been Bucky's new character.
You guys will see my character in Generation Divided.
Oh man.
I got to get back to work on my story.
Yeah, me too. I also got to get back to work on GZ Pursuit.
Alrighty. Well, I don't have any more for Who's the Then anyway this week, so
Yeah. Okay.
I'll throw it over to Das to conclude this week's episode.
All right. So
Hey man, your video feed is like no good right now.
Me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, you are perpetually frozen at the moment on my end.
Crap. Can you still hear me?
Oh,
We can
still
hear you, but I have the same problem.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dastage Radio has been cryogenically frozen on this week's episode of the Zcast. Uh-oh. 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 That's not good.
Problems with him.
Okay,
Hey.
I just lost both of you for a second, which probably means that I disappeared.
Actually, I didn't lose you at all. I only lost Javert.
I only lost Das, so.
What the crap?
Rabbit, you're fired!
Rabbit has been officially fired as the host of the Zcast. It was a good idea. We liked it for. It's good for a couple different features. For example, it's great for watching a show together, but it's not great for, well, this recording.
Yeah.
So when we want to do like just a regular GZ chat, we could use it, but which we need to bring those back.
Yeah, we do. Especially since we do the Zcast, we really do. Like we had something when I was on tour, last couple weeks ago. So
yeah. All right. So anyway, this has been the Zcast. We're gonna hopefully get better about making episodes. I know we kind of didn't for a while.
Well, I mean, scheduling.
Scheduling was the biggest issue, and hopefully we can get back to a semi-regular, hopefully weekly type recording.
Or bi-weekly would be good too.
Bi-weekly would be fine too, as long as we can put out content on a fairly regular basis. And it doesn't. We also will have a couple different segments that aren't all part of the Zcast. In the near future, at some point, we will have a GZ Watches episode coming out. We used to include that as part. GZ Watches used to be part of the Zcast, but now we're going to make it its own segment so we can get into a little more detail.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have all watched the show that we're going to do for the next GZ Watches, which was Top Secret, which was...
What's starring sexy Val Kilmer.
Sexy Val Kilmer, yes.
Young and sexy Val Kilmer.
I think Age of Ultron will probably end up being another GZ Watches because we're all going to see it.
Yeah, most likely.
Most likely, yeah. It kind of like in how we did Kingsman.
Yeah.
It wasn't planned, it just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. So, yes, and in addition to GZ Watches, there will also be GZ Plays. GZ-based Let's Plays starring the members of Generation Z, which I think the ones who will probably be in charge of that will probably be between me and Fluffy.
And at some point, we will play Fluffy's Generation Z Monopoly, but that remains to be seen when we'll be doing that.
Yep. Yeah, as well as a bunch of other ideas we have bouncing around at the moment. So
look for a lot more content coming from those of us at Generation Z right here on Generation Z TV on YouTube. You can find a link to Takio's channel on the channel page.
Hi.
At the time of this recording, my link is not there, but it will be soon-ish. Those of you who don't know, Takio does Let's Plays and vlogs. I review board games.
And Takio's holding a Hello Kitty?
It's not Hello Kitty, it's Nanchi.
Have you not seen my webcomic on GZ?
It looked like a Hello Kitty. I was only seeing it in the corner of my screen.
It's a little Meowchi I got from Animated Tour. It's like
okay, I can see it. I can.
It's the most adorable plushie ever, which is why I bought it.
Yeah. So anyway, this has been the Zcast. Join Generation Z, generationz.jcinc.net. That's generationz.jcink.net.
Link in the description.
Links in the description.
In case we haven't plugged it enough times already in this episode.
Yes.
And if you do join Generation Z, let us know that you found us on the Zcast.
Via YouTube now, because that might actually draw in some people to Generation Z.
Hey, YouTube is only the most used video site in the world right now.
Yeah, so come join us, Generation Z. You will have a good time. If not, we'll give you your money back.
Exactly. And also remember that just because something can be a camera doesn't mean it should be a camera. Because there are too many cameras in the world right now. I went to buy something the other day. They're like, hey, it's also a camera. I'm like, I just wanted a grapefruit.
You know what? I think we're going to end on that.
Yes, that was a good one, actually.
So, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace out.